Good morning, my friends. It's Friday morning and I actually have the day off from work. There was a project I was supposed to work on here the last 3 days, but it was cancelled. So my boss asked me if it was okay that I could take the day off, or the days, these 3 days, and I was like, yeah, sure. So that was all good. So I drove up here to Frederikssund, and yesterday I was actually sitting here enjoying nature, just looking at this view, and it's just so beautiful here, you know. Though I have to say, if you look out the rear window, you say it's very wet, because yesterday it was raining all day. Actually also over here, right next to the Raven here, you see all the water on the ground. But yeah, it was raining all day yesterday. So I did spend a lot of time inside the Raven. I did go for a walk for a while, but not too long, because of the rain. Today it looks better. It's kind of windy outside, but my plan is to go for a walk today as well. I am considering if I should drive to Copenhagen, and it's because there's a nature area called iamacreator, and this area is actually a protected nature area, and there are some highly protected animals in that area, and the local government have given permission to a company who wants to build houses there. And it's like, how can they give permission to build houses in a protected area? And those animals that live there, some of those animals are they're protected species, they're endangered species. And it's like one of the only places actually in Denmark where they live. And then they want to build houses there. It's just wrong. And there are some demonstrations, some protests in there, and I'm thinking if I should go in there and, well, I could, there's some people who have changed themselves to a fence so that people can't go in and build the houses, so the workers can't go build the houses, and to show that they're not happy about that that decision to build houses in that area. And I'm thinking maybe I should drive there and you know, I can make hot tea and stuff, and it's cold, so they say they could probably use a hot cup of tea. So it would be, I think it would be the right thing to do. Well, I'll get back to you guys later. So, my friends, I have arrived at the place where the blockade of the workers who want to destroy the nature area. I've arrived here, and I'm sitting here in a, well, let's call it a tent. An improvised tent in front of the entrance to the area. And I sit here with some of the activists, and they told me it was okay, I could talk to them about why they're here and stuff, so I hope the wind is not too bad, but let's see. Well.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. I guess everybody can see that you kind of have a lock around your neck, and I know the young lady here next to you put a chain around her waist. So you guys have locked yourself to this gate.
Yes.
And I guess the fence was here already, right?
Yes, they put the fence. We are against the fence.
So why are you here?
Yes, we're here because, well, in its basic essence, we are against destruction of wild nature. We think that the mass extinction of species is something that we need to take very seriously, and that the human species should start taking responsibility over the destruction that we have been causing to the world, and that now we need to stop all this destruction, and instead of taking space from other species, we need to start giving back. So this fence right now is put up around a place called lærkesletten. It means like the place where the lark lives. The lark is this bird that has a beautiful song, and it lives in here. And the people who put the fence are called By og Havn. They are a private development company here in Copenhagen, but it's private, but it's owned 95% by the municipality of Copenhagen and 5% by the state. So it's a clever construction where the municipality of Copenhagen has placed its debt for the metro, because it's not possible for the municipality to have so much debt, so they put it in another company to kind of have it somewhere. So now the purpose of this company is to earn money to pay the debt for the metro, and this is part of the sale of this area, together with 2 other areas that we also don't want to destroy, would give them 1.6 billion kroner, whereas the total debt is like 45 billion. Yeah, milliarder, that's billion. Yeah. So it would pay like a very, very small amount of the debt that the Copenhagen municipality has made, and we think this is wrong. We should not pay the metro with wild nature. We should pay it with money. Actually, the municipality of Copenhagen has the money to pay this metro, or at least to pay these 1.6 billion that Amagerfællet, which is the name of this place, Amager Commons, would give them. So we have there's been many protests, many methods have been used to try to stop this project, because the project, I should say, is like to build a town for 6,500 people on this area. Lærkesletten is just a part of a bigger area that's called Amagerfællet. So what they say is just, it's just a little bite of a big natural area, but it has big consequences, fatal consequences for the whole ecosystem. There are many species that will be pushed out of the municipality if we choose to build here. And then right next to the lærkesletten, to this area, there is something called stranding, which is very old biodiversity, 1,000 years old biodiversity. This is super unique in a big city like Copenhagen, and it's very special species that live there. Special plants and fungi and all this. So if we build here, then it will also have a great impact on this other area, of course, because 6,500 people living here all the time, plus more people using the area, because there will also be a school, a home for elderly people, there will be shops and many things. So many people will put great pressure on the whole ecosystem. And then who lives here? The lark lives here. They breed here, they sing here, they have a good time here, and they will disappear from the municipality if we choose to build here. Who else? Then there's the great crested newt, it's called. It's like a salamander. It's this large, more or less, and the people call it the Nordic dragon, because it's a dragon. Just yesterday we had a big demonstration here at Amagerfællet with 1,000 people or something like that, maybe 800, I don't know, it was pretty rainy, demonstrating for the salamander, because this great crested newt, as it's called, it's super protected. It's protected by the EU Habitat Directive, and therefore you are not allowed to kill it, you're not allowed to gather them, and you're not allowed to destroy their habitat. This is illegal. It's illegal, and the people building in here, they know that, and they know that they need a dispensation to be able to do what they're doing. They have applied for a dispensation to gather the salamanders, but they didn't get it yet. And they have also applied for a dispensation. No, they have not applied for a dispensation for destroying their habitat, that we think should also be applied for if it's supposed to be going legally. They have not. But anyways, they've started in here, even though they don't have these dispensations. They just removed like a big, like, I don't know what krat is called in English, but like some gathering of plants.
Some bushes and stuff. Yeah.
A place where they have their winter hibernation place. So the salamanders, they dig into little pieces of wood or in the soil, and then they sleep there and just chill out for the winter, you know, and then they come back up when it's warmer. So they have destroyed that already, even though they don't have the dispensations.
And because they done that in winter time, they probably killed some of the animals already.
They were registered there for like 3 years ago. There's a registration in this database for animals and species. So there were probably salamanders in there, but I mean they removed all the bushes also, so we cannot say. But most probably. So these are some legal problems, but it's also just in its essence, it's wrong at the moment to build in wild nature. Denmark have so little areas of wild nature left. We're like one of the worst countries in Europe. You know, you think Denmark is such a green country? We're not. We're so bad at protecting our nature. So we just, I think that's also why there's such a big people's movement, such a big resistance on building on this. You know, it's kind of a small area. Like, why do you care so much? People just had enough. You know, we have to say stop somewhere. So like now, people are taking a stand. We're sitting here, and because we already tried so many different democratic tools, this is also a democratic tool. But it's kind of a step further to like chain yourself to a fence than to like write articles and so on. And it's not enough anymore. It's also needed. We need to use all methods and a diversity of tactics to stop this. We need to. There are people doing the legal stuff, like suing them for doing the wrong thing with the salamander. There are people who are organizing legal demonstrations, like yesterday with a lot of people. And then there are people like us who are doing civil disobedience. We come from the movement Extinction Rebellion, where we use civil disobedience, which is breaking the law peacefully to put pressure on our institutions for change and action on the climate and biodiversity crisis. And we do this sitting in the way, for example, just sitting down peacefully in the way of destructive processes. So right now we're sitting here at the gate of this building area, because then the trucks cannot get in there. Then the big machines cannot get in there. So we are trying to slow down this construction project as much as possible, at the same time as we're putting pressure in so many other ways, with writing, with doing a lot of things. And then we did this in a kind of creative way, where the first action, we were like 8 women who were for the Women's International Day. Then we all locked ourselves to the fence, and 2 kind of messengers took all the keys and took our letter and brought that to the environmental minister of Denmark, so that she can see that she has the key to stop the destruction of nature out here. She has the responsibility. She's our minister of the environment and of nature in Denmark. So we want to pressure her to act on this and to come out here and like set us free, but also to set the larks free. Yeah. Because right now they're scaring the larks away. They're going in there with dogs to scare the larks away. This is the strategy of the construction company. They want to scare them away so that they don't make nests, so that they can do their construction. So they want only human nests in here, not birds' nests, and like very big human, like very violent nests, you could say. Yeah. We are making a world where there's only space for humans, and I think that's wrong. We should make a world where we can have respect between species and have spaces for other species. And also we humans, we also need this space. We cannot only be in this concrete world. We need like free spaces and wild spaces to think wild thoughts and all this. So yeah, that's why I'm sitting here for a long time already. I feel that's why we're all sitting here, I think. You came yesterday, right? Yes, we've like collectively we've been sitting here all the time, someone with a lock around the neck. But our strength is also that we are many people. We are a big movement. So I mean, I don't have to take all the pressure. We distribute the pressure on many people because in that way we are strong because we are many, and then in that way we are stronger than them because they are just in it for the money. We are in it with our whole heart and with our whole being. I think. So in that way, I think we can still win over them, even though that the politicians of Copenhagen have decided to do this against the will of the citizens. 76% of the Copenhagen people are against this construction.
Yeah.
How can it happen then that the politicians decide to do it? It's fucked up, and that's also why we're sitting here, because we think the people should have the power to decide the future of the city and the future of the world, of the society. What society do we want to have, really? So it's like,
I guess at the next election, the 76% of the population should remember this and then vote for the right parties.
I also believe that, like in Extinction Rebellion, we believe we need a strengthening of democracy, where it's not only representative democracy, but we also need these citizens' assemblies.
Yeah.
I encourage you all to Google it and watch videos. Extinction Rebellion UK have made long talks about what a citizen assembly is. But I can say quickly here that it's like a gathering of people that are randomly selected. Often it's like 100 people, and then selected so they represent kind of the population, so that they mirror the population in, for example, gender and income and geographical placement and all this, so that they are a diverse group of people. In contrast to the politicians, who are often like the same education, the same income, and all this. So, and then these people gather and they get information. So they get experts to present to them information. So, for example, there would be, if it was in the case of Amagerfjället, there would be people who knew about the salamander, or people who knew about the nature, like the wild nature and the species living out here. There would be people knowing about the economy of the municipality, presenting, so that we can decide what do we want to spend our money with, what money do we have. We actually have quite a lot in the municipality. We have the biggest kind of, what's it called, like savings of all municipalities in Copenhagen. The biggest savings per inhabitant, that's in Copenhagen. And there would be people presenting who use the field, who have like lived experience, who have love or hate or whatever, like people who use it and can tell about what it is. There would be people like who know about bigger issues like the biodiversity crisis. There would be people knowing about social issues and like why, for example, crime rates go down when you have green areas, why mental health also go up if you have green area, people feel better. All these information should be given to people, then they have conversations, dialogue. We also believe this goes against the polarization of society, where people like don't talk with each other. So we come together as society, talk about it, and then they make proposals for the politicians that should be legally binding. Because otherwise politicians can just say, yeah, whatever, you said something, we will listen to you maybe in 10 years. That's what we're seeing right now with the Climate Citizens Assembly that they made here in Denmark. Nobody is giving a fuck about what they actually say, and they're also facilitating it in a wrong way, because the facilitation of this assembly is quite essential. So I believe that's kind of a big part of the solution to our problems. It's not like a magical solution where it's like boom, then we will all agree that, you know, we need to go to net zero in 2025. But I think, and that's what we're seeing in the rest of the world, that these citizens' assembly can take way more progressive decisions than the politicians. Normal citizens, they take responsibility in a totally different way than our politicians do, because the politicians, they think a lot about how to get re-elected. They think about how to they're very influenced by big lobbyist companies. A lot of politicians go out and get jobs in these companies afterwards. So it's in their interest to treat these companies well, to make them happy. Like these big Danish crown, big pig companies, and Danish agricultural lobbyist companies. Yeah, it's not fair at all. And also like building companies. I don't have the overview of how it looks in this case, but it's like, why should the politicians get to decide something that's against the will of the people? I don't understand that. And before the election, several parties made an oath. They put their hands together like this and said, "We promise to protect Amagerfjället and to not build it." And then after the election, politicians. Yes. So then after they say, "Okay, no, we build there anyways." It's really fucked up, I think. So I have very little faith in our representative democracy and in the politicians that are supposed to be taking care of their citizens. And I think they should take care of all citizens, both human and non-human. The larks are also citizens in our city.
Yeah, all the animals out here. It's just so important that we protect them because they can't protect themselves.
Exactly, we are the voices of nature, as we wrote here, and we are also nature ourselves. So we are voices of the nature inside us, outside of us, and in between outside and inside, because we are quite entangled with the world, I think. So that's what we're trying to do here.
I noticed a sticker up here.
Yes.
The one with the bee.
Yeah.
Saying if they go, or if they die, we die.
Yeah. It's a bit of a simplification because the image is of a domesticated honeybee.
Okay.
I followed like a debate in some biodiversity page, and they were like, Extinction rebellion, that's so stupid, they simplify things. And it is a bit simplified because the bees that are threatened are actually like the wild bees, not the domesticated honeybees. But I think like the message still goes through pretty clearly that we are dependent on the ecosystems, and if the ecosystems collapse, then we will also not be able to have civilization anymore. Then we cannot sustain ourselves.
No, exactly.
And our societies are quite likely to collapse if the climate does, and if the ecosystems does, then we are also not here. So for me, it's not about like acting to protect nature, to protect. Like it's not like it's both selfish and altruistic at the same time, because I understand the world as a kind of more. I'm part of the world, so if I do something good for the world, I do something that's good for me, and if I do something that's good for me, it's also good for the world. So in a way, like we are quite cannot take me apart from the world and say that I'm doing only this to save the humans. I think humans are quite threatened. There's a lot of species that's gonna be fine. But we're right now taking so much life with us in the grave.
Yeah.
And I think that's so sad. I think humans have the potential to show love and care and actually be a good thing in an ecosystem. And I think that's what we need to think about now. How can we humans play a good part in the ecosystem?
Exactly. Well, that's great. And I kind of felt you told me earlier that you hadn't slept anything last night, so you're kind of hyper.
Yes, maybe.
But it's great.
I think it's very nice because I would like to have this video. So I'm well formulated right now. It's not always so well.
No, you got the message through. And actually, it was great here. Just before there was a dad with his 3 or 4 boys. 3 boys.
I don't know if they were all brothers, but there was at least like a guy
Yeah.
with his 3 boys.
With 3 kids who came here and was hanging out for a little while and talking and stuff, and it was great to see.
Yeah, really. That's also what I'm very happy about these days, that this community is just rising up and we're standing together and like managing to do really a lot together. But alone, nobody could stop this. It's
exactly.
only together that we can actually do it. I guess it's like a cliche, but I think we can really stop this, and we can make a big difference if we stand together and put pressure on our politicians. Lea Wermelin, she cannot withhold this pressure forever. She cannot ignore us forever.
No, exactly. Well, one person can't carry a lot, but a lot of people can carry a little bit each.
Exactly, and then we can carry super a lot.
Yeah. There you are. That was the reason why they're sitting here, and I went here and I made them a cup of tea and brought some cookies, and I'm not the only one. I tell you guys, it's just incredible. While I've been here for an hour or something like that, there has been so many people coming by with thermos with hot water, thermos with coffee, tea, snacks, all kinds of stuff that people just bring here. And I know there was a lady early on who said she would come back with hot soup for you guys, and it's just, yeah, to see the backing from the local community that they are here for you guys, and they are begging you, and they support the case. It's just, yeah, it's great to see, really. So I really hope somehow that, well, at least if we well, of course the hope is to stop this project, but if that's not possible, then at least shout as loud as possible, so that people know that they are just, yeah, that it's happening.
Exactly. It's also to let the politicians know that they cannot any longer destroy wild nature without resistance.
Exactly.
We will stop this.
Yeah. Yeah, you have no end date.
No, we will talk later about organizing, but because we also need to. I mean, we can only take as much upon us as we can carry.
Exactly.
So we will see how long we can take it, but the more people who support and the more people who engage, the longer we can we can hold this.
Yeah.
Keep on the pressure.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I do. It's a bit cold here. I think it's 5 degrees or something. But as you could see, everybody is wrapped up in sleeping bags and big jumpers and stuff. So they're fine, and a lot of hot tea. That all helps. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys take care. And remember, life is good. Bye-bye.